One. Hi there. You are watching and listening a very special edition of Open Bar. I'm Mike Morales here in the San Gabriel Valley. That gentleman out there is
Skip Falconer in Los Angeles, California.
Skip. The reason you've never heard of Skip before is because Skip is our very first graduate of the consumer Catador course, which you folks have probably seen. If you're following us at all, you've noticed the course. I'm sorry, I have it upside down. Anyway, Skip is our first student. He has completed every single exercise in the course, and this is his final exam. And we've decided to invite all you folks out there, all you thousands of watchers and subscribers, to Skip's. Hey, no pressure, boy. No pressure, man. This is Skip's final exam. And what we have, we ordered Skip a bottle. Go ahead and show the bottle. You can show the label too. This is Rooster Rojo. And you've never had this, have you, Skip?
No.
Skip just broke the seal on his bottle, so we did that off camera because it takes about 20 minutes to wrestle the cellophane off the top there. And go ahead, Skip. I want to see you pour your tequila in the jarrito.
Glencairn.
Oh, it's the Glencairn. Okay, good. And you can put the cork back in if you want, whatever you want to do. So you're going to lead us. If you were, you have friends over, and first of all, what would you say to them? You would pour a little bit of the Glencairn. Now what are you going to do?
Well, what I would do is I would tell them to, look at it and see how pristine it is, how clear. We would look for the tears and legs. And
what do you think of it so far?
The legs are nice. They're nice and skinny. It's beautiful. It's the clings to the glass very, very nicely. And then we would talk about where it's from.
Okay.
I would give them a idea as to what gnome it's from.
Well, go ahead and tell us.
Well, it's from gnome 1472, and that's a lowland tequila out of.
It's in tequila. I'll fill in the blanks here. The distillery is a lowlands distillery. It's in Tequila proper. There is a town called Tequila, and it does exist. And I've been there. It was actually the second distillery that I've ever visited. And my understanding is, from the information we've read from the website, the distillery gets their plants from the highlands. So even though the distillery is a lowlands, they're highlands agave, and they're trucked to the distillery, or that's where they process it. And the name of the distillery, and I'll make it easy for you because I know the Spanish tends to be a little tough. It's called Fábrica de Tequilas Finos, and that's the name of the distillery. So okay, now you're gonna take me through the aromas. What are you smelling in your glass?
I get agave. It's very citrusy. A little taste of alcohol. It's sort of a lime.
Ah, okay. So if
Get some lime out of there.
uh-huh.
It's a very subtle. There's a little bit of sweetness there too. It's very subtle.
Now, the how would you uh, for just from the nose, can you discern how it's cooked?
Smells like it would be autoclave.
Ah,
It's not. It doesn't smell like cooked agave.
okay,
It smells almost like steamed
okay,
auto type of.
okay.
Yeah.
Are you wearing any cologne or anything right now on your wrists or your hands?
I did wash my hands. I was washing dishes, but I think I got it off.
Okay. Do me a favor. And I talk about this technique in the course. Take a little bit. I don't know if you get a chance to do that yet. Pour a little bit in your hands and rub it like aftershave, like skin bracer, like you're gonna splash it on your face. But instead, just there you go. Now rub your hands together really quickly and take them, cup them over your nose. What do you smell?
Ooh, it's kind of minty.
I love doing this.
Okay, now it's settling down.
Okay.
It's settling down. No, it's like it's like weird. It's like there's there's no citrus, no.
when when people ask us, what does agave smell like? And there are two things that I use as descriptors. One, if you've never been to a tequila distillery, what I can tell you is if you walk the streets of Tequila on any given day, they're baking or they're cooking agave. And if they're baking it or if they're all doing it at one time, I can tell you that it smells like pumpkin pie, man. It smells like pumpkin. And for some people who probably don't know what that's like, except for maybe once a year, the second way that I try to demonstrate what it smells like without actually getting a wedge of blue agave, which is so difficult to get these days. You have to have a way to get it to the U.S. in a cooked raw form, is to splash some on your hands, a good generous amount, and then inhale. And all the, when you do that, generally what happens is the smell of the agave is what takes over. So that smell, and it's even more wonderful when you do it with an añejo or a reposado. You do the same. As a matter of fact, the first time I saw this technique was a master distiller at El Tesoro broke open the seal of a barrel. And for those of you who don't know the rules, when you break open a seal on a barrel that's been aging, you have to have permission from the CRT. There has to be a person from the CRT to overwatch what's going on. So I guess you do one, and then they give you the permission to open and all the rest of the barrels you're going to open to bottle. And there's a bit of cheesecloth that's on the cork, the seal of the barrel. When you pop that sucker open, the cheesecloth or whatever it is that's there absorbing, trying to keep the angels from getting their share. And they take that cheesecloth and they rub it on their hands and inhale. And it's almost a spiritual experience. But it works great for blancos and for people who have never had a tequila, to know this is probably the truest version of what an agave smells like without the citrus and the aromas and that you can discern from a glass. So now, Skip, now that we've been through all that, I want you to taste it. I want you to demonstrate how we should taste tequila properly. Again, I'm in your house and I don't know jack about tequila.
Okay. There is a sweetness on the intake and pepper. There's a blast of pepper right there at the tongue. And then you get this warm, I get this warm fuzzy, this little warm, it's kind of a nice little fuzzy feeling right here in the middle. And it's a nice finish. It's a very nice finish. It's still there. The warm and fuzzy is still there. And the pepper on my tongue is lasting longer than usual.
Wow.
And it's sort of a kind of a white pepper taste.
So now that you've taken a look at it, you've inhaled it, and you've taken the sip, what's your overall impression of Rooster Rojo? What do you think?
I think it's a very good tequila. I like it. It has a very long finish. I can still taste it in my throat here. I like the pepper. I like the numbness I get on the front.
Uh-huh.
And my tongue is still it's still feeling the pepper.
When you nosed it and the flavor, what did you think of that? What were you expecting when you nosed it? Did it kind of surprise you?
No, yeah, I did expect it to be sweet because of the sweetness that I didn't expect it to be as peppery as it was. I wasn't expecting it to be and there's a lot of citrus in there too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of citrus in there. It's I've tasted other blancos. This one is kind of different.
Yeah.
This one has more of a pepper, sort of a numbing type of feeling to it.
Would you sip this or would you put it in a cocktail or do both?
No, you could sip this. I don't do cocktails, so I don't know anything. I don't know much about, when I first started drinking tequila, it was always in a margarita.
Mm-hmm.
that was my experience for it. It was either a margarita or I was shooting it. But this I would sip this. You could sip this and stay with this for a little and see where it takes you.
Would you recommend this tequila to friends who are? I imagine you have friends and collectors and buddies that you know, kind of share your passion. So would this be a tequila you would share with somebody that, you know, with a friend or buddy, or recommend, or?
Um, yeah, I would share this with people. Now, would I recommend it for someone to go out and to my friends? Probably not. Not to my friends, because I know their palate.
Right.
Um,
Okay, that now I'm lost in the tequila aisle. You're looking at me and you see this like bewildered look on my face. Would you move them in that, and would you recommend that tequila to them, and tell them you're gonna like this one? What would you know, would this be something that you could, obviously, if I'm stuck in the tequila aisle, I either know a lot about tequila or I kind of like a little bit, but you know, would you lead me to one of these, to that bottle there?
if you were stuck in the aisle, I would probably lead you, and I spoke with you, and you're new to it. I would probably lead you to maybe a reposado.
Okay.
Just to kind of take the edge off of things. Um,
So I'm guessing you're going to keep that bottle for yourself.
I will keep myself. I will keep myself. Yes. Yeah.
All right. As far as I'm concerned, you pass, man, with flying colors. That's amazing. You again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final exam for Skip Falconer, and it's from the Consumer Catador course that's available on Amazon and on our website at tequilaaficionado.com. If you've been sitting on the fence wondering, geez, can I learn anything from this? You just watched somebody who just brought it all together, man. That was amazing. I had to keep I had to keep that silly grin off my face because it was, you hit all the high points, man. I congratulate you for going through this whole thing. Now that you've been through it all, is this something that you're going to continue doing? Are you looking at tequila now in a different way, or?
Oh, I'm absolutely looking at it in a different way. I'm just starting to learn about tequila, so absolutely I'm going to continue because there's always something else to learn. There's always other endeavors to get into. And not only that, this goes into all of the different agave experiences, like mezcal and bacanora and all and soto and all the different types of expressions. So yes, I'm definitely going to continue my education on it.
Well, then you better warn Mrs. Falconer that she better make more room for that shelf. Because you're gonna get rid of tequila bottles, and here come the Sotol and Mezcal, and oh my God, you never get out of it. I got it. I tell you, it's something. Skip, thank you so much. I so appreciate you taking the time and putting yourself on the line with all this stuff and having fun. I love it. I loved watching you because it was like, oh, well, I got nothing to say, folks. You've been watching and listening to a special edition of Open Bar with myself here, Mike Morales in Southern California, and our first graduate out there in LA. He is
Skip Falconer.
And again, you've been watching and listening to Open Bar on all of our channels and networks. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on the podcast. And don't be surprised if you hear a little bit more about Skip in the coming weeks and months, because he did really, really well. But again, if you're looking for any more information, just check out our website, tequilaaficionado.com, for the consumer Catador course. And whatever you do, folks, sip wisely.